point. I look, they're just evil. They're it's not the politics; it's their whole philosophy. It's their whole where they come from. It's terrible. Where they killed 35,000, I thought it was 32. Now it turns out.
2 hari setelah kematian pemimpin tertinggi Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, dalam operasi gabungan Amerika Serikat Israel, Presiden Donald Trump mengungkap secara tersirat adanya motif pribadi yang ia simpan terhadap Khamenei pada Senin 2 Maret 2026. Trump menyebut dirinya berhasil mengalahkan Khamenei sebelum Khamenei mengalahkan dirinya. Menurut Trump, Iran pernah melakukan percobaan pembunuhan terhadapnya sebanyak 2 kali. Namun ia menegaskan berhasil lebih dulu menargetkan Khamenei sehingga merasa unggul dalam konfrontasi tersebut. Motif pribadi ini, lanjut Trump, muncul setelah laporan Badan Intelijen Amerika Serikat yang menuding adanya kemungkinan rencana Iran pada 2024 untuk mengincar nyawanya. Pernyataan tersebut ia sampaikan melalui sambungan telepon dengan seorang jurnalis Amerika Serikat. Kemudian ketika disinggung mengenai 3 korban jiwa dari Amerika dalam operasi di Iran, Trump menegaskan bahwa setiap perang pasti menimbulkan korban jiwa. Dengan nada memuji dirinya sendiri, ia menyatakan bahwa Amerika Serikat unggul karena memiliki jumlah korban paling sedikit dibandingkan dengan operasi sebelumnya, termasuk operasi musim panas lalu di Iran maupun operasi terbaru kali ini. Trump juga memamerkan kemampuan militer Amerika Serikat dan Israel yang berhasil menewaskan sejumlah pemimpin tertinggi Iran melalui kampanye udara terkoordinasi besar-besaran pada Sabtu 28 Februari. Sementara itu dalam pernyataan yang dikutip Fiori pada Rabu 4 Maret, Trump menyebut Iran sebagai negara yang benar-benar jahat. Ia menuding Iran menembaki warganya dengan senapan angin. Namun tudingan tersebut tidak dibarengi dengan bukti pendukung dan sebelumnya tidak pernah ada klaim serupa terhadap pemerintahan Iran. Pernyataan ini ia lontarkan dalam pertemuan dengan wartawan bersama Kanselir Jerman Friedrich Merz di Gedung Putih pada Selasa 3 Maret.
That's a great point. I look, they're just evil. They're it's not the politics; it's their whole philosophy. It's their whole where they come from. It's terrible. Where they killed 35,000, I thought it was 32. Now it turns out it's much more than 35,000 people, and in some cases using machine guns with people that have no weapon. They have no weapon, and they're being machine gunned. They're being sniped from buildings. They're hitting the people with snipers right through the eyes. It's just a very evil ideology, and nobody's really seen anything like it. As I said, even the fact that they've attacked all of their neighbors, and the neighbors weren't attacking. They thought they'd maybe sit it out or what. They've hit Qatar, they've hit UAE, they've hit Saudi Arabia, they've hit Oman. They were helping us negotiate. They got hit. Everybody got hit because they're evil and they're bad. It's a bad seed. And somebody had to do it.
ببر
Pernyataan kontroversial Menteri Luar Negeri Amerika Serikat, yakni Marco Rubio, memicu badai kritik terhadap pemerintahan Presiden Donald Trump. Rubio secara terbuka mengakui bahwa serangan ke Iran dilakukan bukan semata demi kepentingan nasional Amerika Serikat, melainkan karena faktor Israel. Dalam keterangannya di Capitol Hill pada Senin 2 Maret, Rubio menyebut langkah Washington sebagai serangan dini. Ia berdalih jika Amerika Serikat tidak bertindak bersama Israel, maka pasukan Amerika di Timur Tengah akan menjadi sasaran empuk balasan Iran. Pengakuan Rubio ini dianggap sebagai blunder besar. Council on American Islamic Relations menilai pernyataan itu sebagai bukti bahwa Amerika Serikat terjebak dalam agenda politik Perdana Menteri Israel, Benyamin Netanyahu. Kritik juga datang dari kalangan oposisi hingga pendukung Trump sendiri. Sejumlah tokoh gerakan MAGA menegaskan bahwa rakyat Amerika tidak memilih Trump untuk mengorbankan tentara Amerika Serikat demi perang Israel. Menyadari dampak negatif, Trump mencoba mengubah narasi. Dalam konferensi pers pada Selasa 3 Maret, ia menyebut serangan dilakukan demi keamanan nasional Amerika Serikat. Dengan alasan Iran tengah bersiap menyerang Israel dan pihak lainnya. Namun hingga kini Washington belum mampu menunjukkan bukti intelijen yang solid mengenai ancaman langsung dari Iran terhadap aset Amerika. Laporan Axios mengungkap bahwa Trump dan Netanyahu sempat melakukan panggilan telepon pada Senin 23 Februari. Dalam percakapan itu, Netanyahu menyampaikan informasi bahwa pemimpin tertinggi Iran, yakni Ali Khamenei, bersama lingkungan dekatnya akan berkumpul di Teheran pada 28 Februari. Informasi tersebut disebut sebagai pemicu utama serangan gabungan Amerika Serikat Israel. Koordinasi intensif antara Washington dan Tel Aviv mempercepat keputusan menyerang Iran. Meskipun Trump berdalih demi diplomasi dan keamanan, pengakuan Rubio menimbulkan kesan bahwa Amerika Serikat lebih banyak mengikuti kepentingan Israel. Situasi ini semakin memperuncing ketegangan di Timur Tengah dan menimbulkan kekhawatiran akan meluasnya konflik.
With an update, I will obviously refer you to the Department of War. Suffice it to say that our objectives remain as they've been identified from the beginning and by the President laid out clearly yesterday. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, and we will now not allow Iran to hide behind the immunity of a massive short-term ballistic missile inventory or the ability to make them or launch them. And so CENTCOM, in a joint operations, is carrying out a systematic destruction of their missile belt, destruction of their launchers, and destruction of their ability to make these, as well as the destruction of their Navy. From what I've been told by the Department of War, everything is on or ahead of schedule and proceeding on these objectives. We have every confidence in the world that these objectives will be achieved.
The U.S. was forced to strike because of an impending Israeli action?
No, let me two things I would say. Number one is, no matter what, ultimately this operation needed to happen. That's the question of why now. But this operation needed to happen because Iran in about a year or a year and a half would cross the line of immunity, meaning they would have so many short-range missiles, so many drones, that no one could do anything about it because they could hold the whole world hostage. Look at the damage they're doing now. And this is a weakened Iran. Imagine a year from now. So that had to happen. Obviously, we were aware of Israeli intentions and understood what that would mean for us, and we had to be prepared to act as a result of it. But this had to happen no matter what. I said this yesterday, and I repeat, what's about to, you're about to see, we're going to unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity of these attacks as, frankly, the two most powerful air forces in the world take apart this terroristic regime and defang it and take away its ability to threaten its neighbors or hide behind a zone of immunity that allows them to develop their nuclear ambitions. This terroristic, radical, cleric-led regime cannot be ever allowed to have nuclear weapons. We saw what they were willing to do to their own people. They were willing to slaughter their own people in the streets. Imagine what they would do to us. Imagine.
جلوتر زده بشین بلند نشو